do is drop your official talking about diplomatic efforts in Ukraine. The last thing you want to do is drop your guard.
So that would be great, I think, to help glue this thing and have the UN help glue it. And, the EU.
But that is exactly what reportedly happened between US Assistant Secretary of State Victoria Nuland and US Ambassador to Ukraine Jeffrey Pyatt. The exchange has since surfaced online, including the crude swipe at the European Union. The audio clip of a woman and man, said to be Nuland and Pyatt, hears them discussing strategies to work with the three main opposition figures.
I don't think Cleach should go into the government. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's a good idea.
In terms of him not going into the government, just let him sort of stay out and do his political homework and stuff. I'm just thinking, in terms of sort of the process moving ahead, we want to keep the moderate Democrats together. The problem is going to be Tony Book and his guys. And, I'm sure that's part of what Yanukovych is calculating on all of this.
I think Yats is the guy who's got the economic experience, the governing experience. He's the guy, what he needs is Cleach and Tony Book on the outside. He needs to be talking to them 4 times a week. I just think Cleach going in, he's going to be at that level working for Yatsenyuk. It's just not going to work.
There is a suggestion for Nuland to contact Klitschko directly to play to his top dog sensibilities, while Nuland refers to getting the United Nations involved in a political solution. And that's where the unfortunate comment arises.
I'm obviously not going to comment on private diplomatic conversations, other than to say it was pretty impressive tradecraft. The audio was extremely clear. Hello, how are you? Good to see you.
All right, Shalom, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makakwadash. We'll say double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for teaching his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the 4 corners of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, this is the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another quick video. And y'all heard this 2014 audio of the then time, I guess she was like some type of state secretary or whatever, Victoria Nuland. And she basically said, F the EU, man. Which all of these different nations, they talk like this. We look at these people, you see these people moving about around, and they dressed in suits. They use articulate speech at sometimes. Okay, they use rhetoric that I had you thinking that these people are the smartest people on the earth, and that they're running policy, man. But these people that are running policy are nothing but base men and women. Okay, that's the first thing. These people that are running policy are nothing but base individuals who are running policy for the elite. And the Lord told you in Daniel 4:17 that he ruleth in the kingdom of men and setteth up over it who he wants, even the bases of men, roughly paraphrasing. And this is another reason why those 10 horns, which is the EU, are going to hate the whore, because of its pride, because of its illusion of world domination. America has played out its usefulness in the world, and that's why Yahweh Shai is going to destroy it. And then you see this devil, just because this is old, but you see this devil, she gives out bread, and people don't even want the bread, which is a sign too, that these nations that eat your bread, they lay the wound underneath for you, man. And then you see she says that it was tradecraft, and it wasn't. She clearly said, fuck the EU. You know what I'm saying? So real quick, this is Revelation 17 and 11. I'll start at 11. It says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th. This is the Roman Empire. What we're living in right now is the second leg of the Roman Empire. And what nation ruled the Roman Empire? Who operated and ruled the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire? It was you Edomites, man. Okay? And y'all were the same way back then. You had the military power. You had the power to take over the known world at that time. And you did so, and you did it in a proud manner. And then when you came back as the EU, starting off with the Club of Rome, okay? And that was nothing but European countries that was at that table. It was no Israelites at that table. It was no other nations at that table. It was y'all. And including America. America is a part of it too. But let's keep on reading. It says, "In the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth, and is of the seven, and goeth into perdition." Right? Because that a matter of fact, if you read, let me read up. Yeah. So the beast is, let me read it again. It says, "And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth, and is of the seven." Right? Because America came out of Britain, of Europe, and Europe, which is the UK, came out of Britain. Right? Let's keep on reading. But the beast system is the Roman Empire. And this is America all over again. This is America. It says it came out of the seven. The eighth beast came out of the seven. It says, "And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth, and is of the seven, goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast." Right? Because they're those 10 horns goes back to those 10 countries that established. I think it was either the EU or the NATO was started with 10 countries. I think it was NATO, the UN, United Nations, was started with 10 countries, and then obviously they spread off to many more. But those 10 horns started with those European nations, man, which is now the EU. All right, if you can understand what I'm saying. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest are the 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast." Because America is the whore that rides the beast. That's right. So it says, "These have one mind." Right? They all have one mind, and all shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Right? Because they're all in agreement. All right. "These shall make war with the Lamb," that's Yahushua, "and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called chosen and faithful." And that's the elect. And it says, "He shall and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples." Right? Because America's power structure is scattered on many countries, including the Ukraine, including the Ukraine.
Work.
Slovakia.
Nations involved in.
Yeah, including the Ukraine, which they're behind what's happening right now. They want what's happening right now. You know, all them presidents are in the pocket of the super elite, but they had America's hand all in there. That's why she was like, they were trying to get the boxer dude Klitschko to do their will and sit on the sidelines and not try to come in and have rulership, because he wasn't the one that they wanted to set up. They wanted that dude Zelensky or whatever. And she was like, F the EU. She said, fuck the EU. Victoria Nuland leaked tape on a coup in Ukraine in 2014. And then she tried to say
a political solution. And that's where the unfortunate comment arises.
I'm obviously not going to comment on private diplomatic conversations, other than to say it was pretty impressive tradecraft.
Yeah, she tried to say it was tradecraft, and it wasn't. Matter of fact, what is tradecraft? Hold on. So it says tradecraft is within the intelligence community, refers to the techniques and methods and technologies used in modern espionage and generally as part of the activity of intelligence assessment. This includes general topics of techniques or the specific techniques of the nation's organization. So yeah, they're basically trying to say that, you know, that was a lie, and it wasn't. You know, it was it was the truth. But she's the devil, and what they do is lie. You know, you look at these people because they got these exorbitant, they get these exorbitant payouts, and you think that these people are the most intelligent people and they're the most articulated people. You're like, we out there speaking, and you might hear the F-bomb or something like that drop. You know, we be like F, you know, Babylon. People get offended, man. But see, the devil, when the devil say it, oh, it just is, there's a private conversation. And you'd be surprised what kind of language these people use in regards to the children of Israel, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and their language and speech, man. You know? And when they get exposed, what do? They try to hide. Once that truth start coming out, they try to hide. They try to, you know, try to do something. That's why they, after this, she goes about trying to give out bread, trying to save that image, man. All right.
Extremely clear. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. We're here from America. Would you like some bread?
Yeah, they was like, no, we don't want your fucking bread. We here from America. We don't want your fucking bread, bitch. You know, because these nations are done with you, man. So let's go back. Which the Ukraine is not a part of there. I don't think the Ukraine is a part of the EU. It's not. It's not. The Ukraine is not a part of the EU. I don't believe. I think either that or the United Nations. One of them. They're not a part of that. Yeah, they're not a part of that. So it says, let's keep on reading back in Revelation 17. And it says, verse 12, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are the 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as the kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Yep. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords and the King of kings, and they that are with him are called chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues, right? Because her influence, her diplomats, they're all over the world, and they're in everybody's shit. And it says, verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. So these 10 horns that are in the EU, that are in this new Roman all over again, new Roman Empire, that gave its power to the beast, they're going to hate the whore, which is America. And shall make war. I'm sorry, let me read that again. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, because they're going to shoot their nuclear missiles on this place. And this is her remarks, this devil's remarks, this Edomite's remarks. So
Thank you for coming.
these Edomites remarks, in which that was set up, the woman coming out saying, thank you for coming, and she clearly don't have no emotion or nothing. She just ignored this bitch, man. You know, and they're all the same. This rough-looking Edomite and this rough-looking Edomite, they're family members, man. You know? But one is prouder than the other, and she ain't trying to hear it. You see, she ignored it, and this was all staged.
Tradecraft, the audio was extremely clear. Please take something.
Thank you for coming. This was Nuland and Pyatt visiting Independence Square in Kiev in December, handing out food to protesters and police. This latest episode is embarrassing for the
handing out bread.
US and allows Russia. This was Nuland and Pyatt visiting Independence Square in Kiev in December, handing out food to protesters and police. This latest episode is embarrassing for the US.
Yeah, it's embarrassing because these nations getting to see what you really feel about them, man. This is another one. It says if I can find it, Salakia. Yep, this is Psalms 10 and 5. It says, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. That's right. I'll start at 10 and 4. Psalms 10 and 4. It says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, is not in all his thoughts, right? The devil don't think about the wicked. When we say the devil, we talk about you Edomites, super elite first, and down to the rest of your little ones. They don't seek after the Most High's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. It says the Most High is not all in at the Most High is not in all his thoughts. They don't even think about the Lord, bro. His ways are always grievous, right? Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them, man. Which that's a boastful to puff at somebody like, psh. And that's what she was doing. You know, she was Victoria Nuland.
Allows Russia to...
She was puffing.
This was
puffing up at her people, man. At these other people. You know, there's another one which says let's see. Let's go to Obadiah real quick. This is Obadiah. Obadiah 1 and 6. How are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Because that was a hidden conversation. It wasn't supposed to be exposed, but it got exposed. All the men of thy confederacy, which it's an old tape, but nonetheless, it shows you America's weakness, man. All the men of thy confederacy, all those that agree with you, all those different nations that are in agreement with you, have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee, the EU was at peace with America, and right now as it stands still, they're still semi at peace. But when this war breaks out, they're going to choose sides, and they're going to choose who they think is the winning side, which is the Russians, and they're going to shoot missiles on this place, man. That's why they're going to burn it with fire. And it says, and these, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. That's right, because even as it stands right now, the Ukraine is eating America's bread, which is that money. You know, they're giving out all of these things. Like you just saw that chick, Jen Psaki. She just abruptly left her post, man, for whatever reason. I don't know why she got fired, but the point of the matter is that she was talking about giving the Ukraine all this money for all this other stuff, but Ukraine always been in America's pocket, even before Zelensky, you know. And they're trying to get into the European Union so that they can be protected from Russia. They're trying to get in NATO. I think they're a part of NATO, but they're trying to get in the EU, you know, and they're not having it. They're not letting them dudes up in there, man. Something like that, you know, because that's not what they want. They want to use that place as a proxy, as a place where they can set up their thing to try to fight against Putin and them. But it's not going to work. You're going to be destroyed. All the nations that you're cool with, all of them that eat thy bread, and you see her giving out bread as symbolism. Who the fuck wants some stale ass, old ass bread that you don't put your dirty ass hands on? They don't want that shit. And people like, nah, I don't want that shit. You know? And it's just funny how they being exposed, man. So the last scripture I got is Psalm 60. Well, sorry, let me go back to they laid a wound under thee. It says back in Obadiah 1 and 7, in the middle of it, towards the end, it says, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. You know, and that's right. The last scripture I have is Psalm 64 and 8. So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. You know, and you see that. That's what's happening. This shit coming back to haunt them, man. And a bitch like this, you gotta fire her because she thinks she's somebody when she's not. She thinks she's somebody like when these diplomats be in these different countries, they be talking like they run the country because of America's economic power and military might, they look at these nations as nothing. You know, and that's the Edomite mindset. And they're all in agreement. You know, but they just being exposed, man. You know, Victoria Nuland, F the EU, Victoria Nuland leaked tape. That was Shalom on to the next. You Edomites is finished, man. You out of here. You done, man. And the Lord gonna use you Edomites to destroy you Edomites, man. Them Russians over here, those are Edomites. These Americans over here, these are Edomites. Them Americans in the EU, Edomites. I mean, them Americans. Them people in the EU are Edomites, man. This Third World War is an Edomite war. But it's going to drag all these nations into it via starting off with them small hats over there in the state of Israel, which are Edomites, man. The first, the second, and the Third World War, guess what? Those are all Edomite wars, bro. Those are all Edomite wars. And they drew other nations around the bottom into it. But those are Edomite wars, man. And this one is no different. The Third World War is no different. But this time, you Edomites, you're not going to come out victorious. You Americans, you definitely not going to come out victorious. And you can't blame that on, you know, Ray and Jose in the hood. You know, that's an Edomite. This is an Edomite thing, man. You know, this ain't got nothing to do with the Israelites, man. Establishing Shalom on to the next.